It is the first Thursday of the new year of 2025. A very happy new year to you guys. What that means is we are back with our regular episodes of our podcast, the Property Sourcing Success Show. So welcome back. This is really where we dive into the world of portfolio building, the world of property sourcing, deal packaging, property trading, all the same name or all different names for the exact same thing. And really what we try to do here with the Property Sourcing Success Show is to help you navigate your journey through to success. So for those of you that are completely new to the community, because we've had quite a few of you over the Christmas period, my name's Danielle Bell, I'm your host, and today marks the first episode of the new year. So everything I want to talk about in today's sharp episode is key areas of focus, specifically for business professionals in property investment in the first quarter, so January, February, March of 2025. Today, I want to have a look at 3 key areas that you should concentrate on, specifically in that first quarter of this year, if you want to see significant results, if you want to see significant progress, if you want to have a better return than you did in the last quarter of 2024. These 3 areas are investor lead generation. Let's be clear, if you do not have a pipeline of investor leads, you're dead in the water. So that's area number 1. Then I want to look at securing access to off-market stock. Very, very important. Does every stock have to be off-market? Does every deal that you do have to be off-market? No, it doesn't. But please bear this in mind, that if you're running a portfolio building business, investors pay you a premium for these types of perks. So you will want to know exactly how to keep a full pipeline of off-market deals. If you've been following me for any length of time, you will know that we're not big advocates, understatement of the century, but we're not big advocates for direct-to-vendor marketing, leaflets, bandit boards, Facebook ads. We simply don't do it. We do everything stock-wise for our own portfolio, and certainly with the guys that we coach behind the scenes, we do it off-market through estate agents. And then I want to have a look at branching out to overseas investors. Now, this is probably an untapped resource. There are people that do it, absolutely, but it's not talked about an awful lot. I think for people, especially in the areas of higher capital appreciation, especially in the areas where it is a higher barrier to entry in order to get investment properties, your standard buy-to-lets, London and so on, having a roadmap in play that allows you to access overseas investors that have more capital set aside is a real untapped resource. And I want to have a look at keeping your time management in check, because here's the reality. The most common complaint that I hear from people when I ask them how they're moving forward and how they're getting on is that they simply don't have enough time. Well, bullshit to that, because we all have the same 24 hours. And why are some people managing to get more done and you're not? Here's a hint. I'm all about binging on Netflix. I absolutely love it. It's my downtime. It's the 2 hours downtime that I get in a 24-hour period, but I will not binge on Netflix unless I've ticked everything off that I know I need to get done in order to move the business forward. For some people, they will choose Netflix over actually progressing the business. And that, my friend, is why you're still stuck where you were this time last year. So with that in mind, let's dive in. First up, investor lead generation. Okay, this is a key area of focus, guys, specifically as we enter quarter 1 of 2025. Why? Because we're going to use these next 3 months to really set the platform, set the foundation for the year ahead. If you build the business on sand and quicksand to begin with, if it's flimsy, it's like a house of cards, it will fall, it will topple the moment that there is a gap in your lead pipeline. So in a competitive market, having a solid strategy to generate investor leads is absolutely vital. So you need to be utilizing online platforms. Now, this can be LinkedIn, this can be Facebook, this can be Instagram, fuck, it could even be TikTok. Frankly, I haven't gone near TikTok and I have absolutely no intention of going near TikTok. But if your personality lends itself to TikTok, by all means, put yourself out there on TikTok. For me, Facebook has really been the holy grail, the golden goose for me when it comes to generating investor leads. For guys that we work with inside the 6-figure sourcing mastermind program, it might be Instagram. For other people, it might be LinkedIn. My advice is to find the one platform that lends itself to your personality. So if you are more corporate-like, if you are more serious as deposition, LinkedIn is absolutely a good spot for you to be at. Frankly, I have never performed well on LinkedIn. Maybe it's the swearing. I don't know, but it's never done well for me. On the other hand, Facebook, a more relaxed platform, a platform that is more conversational in style, has always paid off dividends for me. Then we have guys who do Instagram who are very visual. Pick one platform that works for you. Not to pick 5 of them, pick one of them that works for you and commit to it. And the whole premise behind that is to connect with potential investors. Pick one platform, not 3, not 5, 1. Now, the really key here is that you're creating valuable content that A, showcases your expertise, but B, the benefits of investing in property. All too often I see people that are putting themselves out there on social media, but it's all very one flavor. They're only ever talking about their area. They're only ever talking about the strategy that they source. They're only ever talking about their past experience. You need to be able to give a few different flavors when it comes to social media. You need to showcase your expertise. You need to be able to showcase your education. You need to be able to showcase your credibility. You need to be able to showcase your authority, and you need to be able to showcase the benefits of investing in property. And if you're completely new to this, you can get everything that I've mentioned previously, the credibility, the authority, the experience, by documenting a daily blog. That is genuinely as simple as it gets. Documenting the daily blog. You need to build a strong online presence, and you need to be engaging your audience. I cannot stress this enough, guys. Lay the groundwork for longer lasting relationships. It's not just about closing deals. It's not. And yes, of course, it's the closing of the deals where you earn your cash. I absolutely get that. But if you're wanting to build a sustainable, profitable, long-term portfolio building business, it's actually about creating a network of investors who stand behind you and who trust you. And this approach will compound over time. It will yield a significant return as your network expands and referrals come in manually. And that's probably a separate podcast that we'll do maybe later on in the month of January. But if you are 6 months into your portfolio building business and you do not have a solid referral program in place in the business, then you're leaving several hundred, if not more, pounds on the table every single month. So side note, not for this podcast episode, but you absolutely want to be having a look at that. Let's talk about nailing your approach with off-market stock. Gaining access, guys, to off-market properties can provide you with a really unique investment opportunity that others might miss, that others will not have the ability or the right to gain access to. And like I had said when we first kicked the podcast off tonight, in my experience, people with money pay for exclusivity, speed, and certainty. And when you are really articulating the benefits of your portfolio building business, when you are explaining to an investor why they would leverage your services, why they would utilize a portfolio builder, why they would consider doing business with you. One of the key sway factors for that is, listen, the best deals are done behind closed doors, and I have access to those closed deals because of the network that I have built up behind myself, because of the marketing approach that we take within our business. So in order to do that and be able to speak that with authority, you need to develop relationships with estate agents, with wholesalers, and with local property owners. But our key focus has been for the last 4 or 5 years, and will be even more so this year, has always been estate agents and letting agents. So I really need you to spend some time, a key area of focus, in not only developing a personal relationship with the estate agents, but developing a marketing relationship with them. And I think this is the one thing that so many people miss out on, because they're too busy printing yellow envelopes and red ink and nonsense bandit boards. I want you, Q1, key area of focus, developing, yes, relationships with agents, but more importantly than that, developing a marketing relationship with agents. If you get my weekly emails or my daily email blogs, I think it was maybe last week, or maybe it was Monday of this week, I spoke about my best tip for 2025, and we called it the quadruple effect. And it's the death of the 4D. So the reason why most properties may come to the market to be sold with relative speed is usually down to 4Ds: death, divorce, debt, or downsizing. If I were you, I would develop a marketing campaign, a marketing approach, a marketing message to estate agents that is built around those 4Ds, and I would go balls to the walls with it in the first quarter of 2025 and further afield. So I need you to be attending networking events, but pick your networking events very carefully. I have openly spoke about the disdain that I have for a lot of the mainstream property networking events. It's everybody and their dog seems to go to it. everybody in the room is looking for the money. Everybody in the room seems to have an ego, and they'll invite absolutely anybody to speak at it. So be very selective with the networking events that you tend to go to. The more niche, the better. The smaller, the better. The higher the quality. And I also want you to openly express your interest in accessing off-market deals, i.e. tell everybody what you do and what you're looking for. Now, when you present yourself, guys, as a serious and knowledgeable business owner, a serious and knowledgeable portfolio builder and investor, people are more inclined to reach out when they come across potential opportunities. So how you present yourself is everything here. Having this kind of focused approach allows you to secure better deals, and over time, as your reputation grows, provided you don't fuck it up, you'll find that more off-market opportunities absolutely will come your way. But my key piece of advice that I really want to stress to you here, Q1 specifically, again, taking it back to laying those foundations, getting that marketing message right with the estate agents and building it around the quadruple effect of the 4 Ds: death, divorce, debt, and downsizing. Get a marketing message that speaks about those, direct it to the agents, and I can guarantee you, you will not struggle for access to off-market property deals with agents in 2025. Now, let's look at another key area of focus for Q1 2025. And absolutely, this is something that we will be looking at ourselves, and it's branching out to overseas investors. Here's the reality, guys. The global property market is vast, and there are a ton of investors looking for opportunities both in the UK, whether it's England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland. There are a ton of investors residing abroad with hefty amounts of residual savings who are looking to park their cash. So what I really want to encourage you to do is to create a strategy that allows you the ability to reach out to overseas markets. Now, this may involve holding your own investment workshop. This is definitely, I suppose, an advanced strategy, and for anybody who has been in the game and doing this 6, 7, 8, 9 months or more with tangible results to prove it. But webinars, targeted marketing campaigns, again, do they need to be paid for? No, absolutely not. Email marketing is absolutely vital in your business. You don't need to pay for it. You don't need to run ads, but a targeted email marketing campaign specifically dedicated towards overseas investors, absolutely first class. And another untapped resource, which most people overlook, is that you can actually partner with your local estate agents who have connections abroad. Again, partnering local estate agents who have connections abroad, of which there are many, is an absolute godsend. Focus your efforts there. Those investors tend to be much less of a pain in the ass. They are completely hands-off. They are relying entirely on your research, on your knowledge, on your credibility. They have significantly more cash and savings saved to deploy, and all they are really interested in is the capital appreciation and the rental income each month. They are not the types of investors who will try to bargain you down on your sourcing fee. They are not the types of investors who will try to save £50 off the asking price. They are not the type of investor who will try and get the refurb that's going to be 10 grand done for 2. So overseas investors are definitely investors that you should be turning your attention to 2025. What you really want to be doing when you're talking to them and you're having the conversations and with your local agents is highlight the benefits of investing in your local market. Things like the potential growth, things like the return on investment, things like the stability, things like the regeneration, the development. By tapping in, guys, to a broader investor pool, you not only diversify your own business, but you also increase your chances of securing higher value deals and higher value clients. And I can assure you, having experienced both, it is a much easier road to 6 figures plus in sourcing fees when you are dealing with a higher caliber investor. Look for binge buyers. All right, finally, we cannot overlook the importance of time management. As busy professionals, as busy working people, as busy parents, time is one of our most valuable assets. It's one of our most valuable resources. We know that. But I need you to do something about it. I need you to set aside time, dedicated blocks of time each week to focus on these key areas that we spoke about today. The investor lead generation, the estate agent marketing approach, the overseas investor outreach, and education. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here, but in my experience, because I'm running 3 different businesses and I have an 8-year-old son that really is like having 8-year-old triplets. If we're not doing property, we're doing taekwondo. If we're not doing taekwondo, we're doing football. If we're not doing football, we're doing Gaelic. If we're not doing Gaelic, we're doing swimming. And somewhere in between there, I have to try and feed him and keep ourselves alive, right? So I totally get that life is busy, and I have fallen victim many times to not managing my own time. The easiest hack for me has been just blocking it off in my diary. If it's not in the diary, it doesn't get done. You know it and I know it. So the easiest hack that I have ever had is simply blocking out the time in my diary, on my phone, whether it's on Trello, whether it's on your Mac, whether it's on your desktop, blocking out the time in your diary to ensure that the key tasks get done. And here's what I will tell you. Do you need to be doing 20 hours plus per week on this? No, you absolutely don't. Okay, I would say to aim for anything between 6 to 8 hours per week. 6 to 8 hours per week with your time spent on the right activities. This is important, okay? Not picking out the color of the Canva background, not worrying about the font on the investor deal pack, not picking out, business cards, focusing on the needle moving tasks, the things that we spoke about on the podcast today, the investor lead generation, the estate agency marketing campaign, the overseas investor outreach, and time management. I really need you to block out that time. You can use tools, you can use apps to keep track of your tasks. Our project management tool and in-house tool for really keeping my entire life running is Trello. You might use something different. We use Trello. You can have the app on your phone. You can get it on your desktop. You can put it on your Mac. Really good for communication if you have a team as well. But here's the most important thing, guys. Consistency is key. And managing your time effectively will ensure 100% that you can make steady progress without feeling overwhelmed. And in my experience, it's when you don't have the time marked out. It's when you don't go into the day with a plan. It's when you enter the week and you don't have a list of the things that you want to get done, that you tend to feel like you're drowning. Like you tend to feel like you're swimming upstream in a storm. So focusing on these key areas, guys, the investor lead generation, the access to the off-market stock, the branching out overseas to overseas investors, maintaining an effective time management. If you can do this and you can get on the ball with this now, early, take your time over the course of the weekend to set these things up, then you 100% will set yourself up for success in the early months of 2025 and further into the year. You have to remember, these compounded efforts, guys, will yield significant results now, but will also establish a really solid foundation for your property business. Hopefully, this has been useful. Hopefully my coughing has not put you off halfway through. I do apologize. But a happy new year to everybody. We have lots of fun things planned in 2025 for everybody here in the community at Property Sourcing Made Simple. We will be tuning in every single week, both live into the community and on Spotify with the Property Sourcing Success Show. So yeah, don't listen to the podcasts and nod along. I need you to listen to the podcasts and then implement the things that we're talking about, because listening to it is great, but it won't change a single thing about where you are with your results unless you roll your sleeves up and implement the things that we speak about. With that in mind, I will let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening. I will see you again next Thursday for another installment of the Property Sourcing Success Show. Have a great evening, guys.